This new moon and new cosmic cycle is all about second chances, fixing our mistakes, and finding the deeper meanings hidden within our past. Hi, and welcome. This is Brian from Green Gardens Healing, and here is your Lunar Destinies new moon reading from a shamanic healing perspective. On Thursday, November 20th at 1:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a new moon and new lunar cycle at 28 degrees of Scorpio. And it is conjunct Mercury in retrograde, also at 28 degrees of Scorpio. And this is everything you need to know. So to see where in your life the divine cosmic forces that help shape our world are giving us a second chance to look deeper, explore further, and transform, you will want to find the 28 degree point of Scorpio in your birth chart and identify which astrological house is being activated by this new cosmic cycle. And here you can find where the universe is pointing you to take another look and maybe make some adjustments. Scorpio is a sign of alchemy and transformation, and this is the theme and tone for this new moon cycle. Meaning we are not meant to move through this Scorpio season or this new lunar cycle and remain the same person that we were when we entered into it. This new moon is a major rebirthing process with such powerful changes and shifts often arise deep, intense feelings, fears, and aspects of our life that we may be wrestling with, transforming, reimagining, and rebuilding. This alchemical process of transformation may bring up discomfort that we're meant to feel, honor, and experience. This is part of that forging process that is required for a new timeline, a new self, a new life that we want to manifest to appear for us. It's a crucial part of the initiation and transformation process. Think of it like the cost of revealing and leveling up to the next version that you envision for yourself in your life. It will require strength, courage, creativity, perseverance, and dedication. It's not easy, and it hardly ever is. But we have tons of cosmic and spiritual support if we choose to ask for it, actively seek it out, and take advantage of it. Now, the process of transformation looks different for everyone, but there is a general trajectory that we all pass through during the alchemical processes of our life. Typically, we first experience a new revelation within our mental awareness. We receive a new idea, a new vision, a new dream for what we want to experience and create for ourselves. Then that new concept will gestate and develop with more clarity and presence within our mental body. Once it reaches a certain level of energetic development, then we are faced with a decision. Either make the changes necessary in order to move towards this new destiny, or we can opt out and remain in the comfort of our current experience. Some easily identifiable choices that we may come across can look like eating healthier, cutting out all sugars, chemicals, oils, plastics, and synthetic materials from our lives. And some more difficult to decipher choices we may need to make is inwardly reconciling with our past mistakes, our family, previous partners, friends and colleagues that may have done us harm or caused us discomfort and difficulty. Identifying these junctures often requires an outside perspective, at least it did in my experience. We don't always know what we have to change to clear us from the binds of the past that will allow us to freely embody the future. And in this example, I'm not referring to future as linear time. We all move through linear time whether we like it or not. By future, I mean not being unconsciously held back by the past. We may all know someone who spent their entire life stuck in the same place. Time moved forward, the world changed, but the person did not. Once we receive our new vision for the future, we identify what we need to change in order for that future timeline to arrive, which in many cases is the hardest part to accurately identify. Because if we knew what was holding us back, we wouldn't be stuck anymore because we're all incredibly intelligent beings. We would be able to figure it out. It is because we don't know what is holding us back, we tend to stay stuck in the same cycles and behavior patterns. For example, in my life, one of the major things I needed to reconcile is forgiving my dad and meeting him with unconditional love, exactly as he is, without a wish or desire for him to be any different. Fully at peace with our past and not wishing for things to have been any different. Accepting our past, realizing that what happened was exactly what needed to happen. Now, when I received that memo, I thought to myself, yeah, right. My dad's never been a part of my life and doesn't need to be. Well, that is the voice of my past self. And in order for me to move into greater awareness, more coherent presence, and embody more of my divine powers, I needed to fully immerse myself into examining this idea of accepting and loving my father exactly as he is, and accepting my past exactly as it was, and letting go of all the wishes and desires for things to be any different. This realization led me to the precipice of needing to make a decision. Either I move through the healing movements with my dad that my soul is longing for, or I can remain stuck where I was, overworked and unfulfilled. Sure, I could have chosen not to walk down the emotional path of reconciliation with my father and instead tried to fill my unfulfilling life with new clothes, more money, more partners, etc. But at this time in my life, I was in my late 30s and it was time for me to change. Clearly, what I tried was not working. Once we choose to make changes in our life, the universe will, in its own magical way, begin to restructure itself to bring forth this new destiny simultaneously while we continue to restructure ourselves, our mental, emotional, and energetic structures, our life. And this process almost always comes with an emotional restructuring, meaning both familiar and unfamiliar feelings will arise during this process. Our world may feel uncertain. We may feel unworthy, depressed, angry, fearful, guilty. There's a wide variety of emotions that can come up during this process. And once we move through all of these emotions and feelings, honoring everything and allowing it to all move through our emotional body to be felt, our emotional body will restructure itself because it no longer needs to account for all those unprocessed emotions. We just move through them. So now there's a whole bunch more space available for new emotions to arrive, the emotions that you want to feel. And this leads to the embodiment process, a process of ups and downs, feeling and forgetting, purging and reclaiming, unsettling and strengthening, until we've moved through and cleared out all of the more subtle reverberations from our rebirthing process. In my example with my father, this took me a few years. So keep in mind the magnitude of what is being initiated during this new moon in Scorpio. This is not a quick overnight one ritual process. These movements of the soul are often generations in the making and take years to unravel. And this new moon is opening up a portal of divine assistance to help us clear out our past and allow us to move into the future with more confidence, joy, presence, strength, clarity, courage, and wholeness. Now, Mercury is in retrograde, conjunct with this new moon, and it's pointing our inner world into the past to help guide us through these difficult and emotional stretches of the soul. Now, if you look at this new moon chart opposed to the new moon and Mercury in retrograde, is Uranus, the planet of revelations and awakening in Taurus, meaning the changes that we are meant to experience will relate to our home life, our financial situation, and how we choose to honor and take care of ourselves. In fact, there are 7 outer planets that are all in retrograde, which is a profoundly powerful portal that is allowing us to go into the past and to leverage and collaborate with this divinely inspired invitation to reconcile and resolve what is left unresolved from our past. I know it's easier said than done, but you're stronger than you know. You survived it all and you're still here. You're smarter than you know. You found a way to make it this far, and now it's time for a new strategy, which means letting go of the old one. You're more powerful than you know. Trust your divine guidance. It will come to you in a variety of many ways, usually through the language of coincidence and synchronicity. You'll feel it. It'll resonate with you. It'll strike a chord with you. You'll have an emotional response. Rarely does it ever come in the form of clear inner instruction, like a voice is telling me what to do. It almost never comes like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this new moon reading, and if you would like to have any guidance reading your birth chart or navigating this new moon configuration, you can schedule a session with me at greengardenshealing.com. I hope you enjoy this Scorpio new moon, and I will see you again on December 4th for the super moon in Gemini. Until then, lots of peace, love, and joy. Bye, guys.